emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government. Weapons.
That's right. The annual purge is sanctioned by the U.S. government. And we got 243 days until the first purge begins. This morning, we'll do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But we're going to talk about this Iran war. Now, if you're living under a rock and you don't have no ears, then you haven't seen and you haven't heard about the Iran war. And if you don't care about the Iran war, then you're just ignorant. This will affect you. Do you have a car? Do you pay for fuel? Of course you pay for fuel, even if you don't have a car. Look at your electricity bill. You'll see fuel costs listed on your electricity bill. The Strait of Hormuz is closed now. Donald Trump is attempting to bribe any company who's willing to brave being sunk, brave being murdered by transporting oil through the Strait of Hormuz. Oil tankers have already been sunk. And we already know Donald Trump doesn't care about the environment, as the EPA is rolling back regulations on mercury and things like that that'll kill us. The reason I say that is because oil tankers sunk in the Strait of Hormuz are going to release oil into the water. And water don't just sit still in the Strait of Hormuz. It's going to travel. Yeah. With nobody able to get in there and clean that up, it's going to travel. And it's going to spread toxic death everywhere it goes with no one able to clean it up. And that's going to have huge consequences to the environment. But Donald Trump don't care about the environment. We've had an F-15E shot down over Iran. There will be more. There's already been 3 others shot down due to supposed friendly fire. I say supposed, very, very strong. If it was in fact friendly fire, that means Donald Trump and his administration and Pete Hegseth rushed to action so fast they didn't deconflict the airspace to let our allies know that, hey, we're about to be doing whatever in the area. Don't shoot us down. They didn't have time for that. We are in this war because the Israelis, through Jeffrey Epstein, have dirt on our convicted felon, credibly accused rapist, and pedophile protector in chief, Donald Trump, through Jeffrey Epstein, who is running a extortion and bribery racket through Epstein Island. And the Mossad knew about it. For those of you who don't know what the Mossad is, that's Israeli intelligence. Think of them like the CIA, but on steroids. I need the American people to wake up and realize this ain't our war. It's Israel's war. This is something Israel has wanted to do. Yeah, it's been America's wet dream. You know, since the puppet that we helped throw a coup in Iran and installed got himself deposed. And the Ayatollah's been in charge. Which, by the way, fun fact on Iran, they've never attacked anybody, declared war on anybody the whole time the Ayatollah Khomeini was in charge of Iran. Another fun fact, just like in Venezuela, You have the President Maduro being kidnapped, and then his right hand, who is arguably much worse than him, taking power. You're going to have the same thing happen in Iran. Now, earlier I stated that this will affect you, and it will. Like I said, gas prices, fuel prices. Whether you voted for Trump or you didn't vote for Trump, another way it's going to affect you is if you have military service members. Military service members will be coming back if we put boots on the ground in droves. Iran has a population of 90 million people to draft from. I wonder how many of them are military aged and able-bodied. Let that sink in. Just send them to the front lines with a rifle and just that. Just conscript them, send them to the front lines, very minimum training, like Russia's doing. Right? Doesn't matter how well trained your army is in a war of attrition. Doesn't even really matter, because those are just bodies to throw at the front line. Now, they're working on this Greater Israel project to bring about end times. Who in their right mind wants to bring about apocalypse? Really think about that. Who in their right minds wants to willingly bring about the apocalypse? I'm not trying to force no savior to return to come back to earth, to apocalypse my loved ones, my neighbors, or even my enemies. If that's going to happen, let it happen on its own. 30 different commands across America have reported that the Trump's administration's upper echelon in rank, that's anything officer, have been instructing the troops, informing them that this is a holy war. Well, if we fight for Israel, that means this is Israel's holy war. And they're also saying that Donald Trump was appointed and anointed by God to serve this holy war up to the world and kill everybody so they can force the return of Jesus Christ upon the world. Whew, people. We are at a crucial point in our country. The time to purge, if there ever was a time, and there's been plenty of time, is now. Our country has been the victim of a coup in plain sight. I'm not talking about when they stormed in Washington, D.C. The coup happened when Trump supporters elected Donald Trump that last time. What they elected, you know what? Let me ask you a question before I tell you what they elected. We're going to get around to it. To my servicemen or anybody who's affiliated with the military or pro-American, just diehard pro-American, if someone of Middle Eastern descent moved next door to you and they decided they wanted to put an ISIS flag, fly it proud over their house and on their cars, how would you feel about it? Of course, people have the First Amendment right of freedom of speech. It's protected. You should be able to speak your mind. I personally believe that hatred, racism, and bigotry, if proven that you've done those things, should be punishable by death or having your citizens stripped, and whatever your DNA shows that you are, you get sent back to that country if they'll have you. And if not, we'll just imprison you for life, or if we can't re-educate your brain. But back to the flag, right? Somebody's flying it. ISIS flag. They clearly support ISIS, the killer of American troops all over the Middle East and Americans abroad, the attackers of democracy, sworn enemy of anyone who's Christian. Now, let's change the flag and let's get back to who's in charge of the country. Our country was a victim of a coup. The Confederacy has taken over our country. In case you didn't hear me the first time, the Confederacy has taken over our country. Now that should make sense why they're attacking all these brown people all over the world. Let that sink in. And while they're attacking the Caucasians, who are documenting and protesting them, brutalizing, killing. In some cases with ICE, they've raped detainees. The people are protesting that, the white people. That's the reason why they're being unalived in Renee Good and Alex Pretty's case. Why they're being sent to the camps. Because you're a sympathizer. The only thing they want you sympathizing with are their white Christian national values. I thought we had a thing called separation of church and state in America. But yet our Secretary of Defense has white Christian nationalist tattoos and statements all over his body. He has slogans that are offensive to Arabs all over his body. And right now he's trying to convince the President of the United States to put troops on the ground so he can go white Nazi on Arabs and fight a holy war, a crusade, as the tattoo on his chest is a symbol of the Crusades. And so are the sayings that he has tattooed on his body. People, you've got to wake up. You've got to. We are in mortal danger. This thing in the Middle East, if we put boots on the ground, go look at a map and picture all the NATO and American assets in the region and how they stack up to where Russia physically sits on the map. And if we occupy Iran, if we occupy Iran, that gives us a straight shot all the way to Russia. That's no oil for China. We've already took Argentina off the map. China needs fuel if they ever want to do anything, let alone their military conquest in Taiwan. That's an existential threat to China. Now, the Chinese are being real quiet right now. And remember, we got manipulated into this by Israel. Well, if the Israelites want to bring about the apocalypse, then they don't care about none of us, let alone themselves. They are ready to die. They are a death cult. Why are we supporting a death cult with our tax dollars? Why are we supporting a death cult with our tax dollars? Not to mention the genocide. I'll save that for another video. 3 American soldiers dead. Well, I'm sorry. 6 at this point. 6 American soldiers dead. 3 F-15 shot down due to supposed friendly fire. 1 F-15 shot down over Iran. I highly doubt that 6 American soldiers are the only ones that are dead. I'm pretty sure there are more. The way that the base was attacked suggests that there are more. We'll find out. People, be safe, be alert, talk to your people about what's going on. And primary every last Republican, every last Democrat, and every last independent that has failed to uphold the Constitution of these United States of America. Primary them, primary them, primary them. 243 days left to the purge. The first purge. The second purge, man, that's going to be a beautiful thing. Even if it goes all the way left like the movie, that's going to be a beautiful thing. Because the people will be heard. The people will prevail. And it is the people who always have the last say. This first purge, that has the potential to bring this country to its knees if it goes left like the movie. I'm not pushing anarchy. I'm not pushing hate. Unless it's a racist you hate. Unless it's a bigot you hate. But then, yeah, I'll push hate. Hate for racism. Hate for bigotry. Hate for genocide. That's what you should hate. Hasn't the world, not just America, hasn't the world had enough of bloodshed over ideology of white Christian nationals? Go back to the Crusades. Christian nationalism. Haven't we got tired of this? Let me ask you guys a question. If you were successful with your white Christian national state, right? You got everybody to go. To the white people who are still here, what do you think they're going to do to you guys? Well, you already know if you're gay or you're a woman, you ain't going to have no rights. And if you're gay, they're definitely going to mess over you. If you're trans, they're not going to have no rights. They're definitely going to mess over you. They're probably going to kill those two off. Just like the Nazis embraced purism, that's what they're embracing, purism. So they're probably going to purilize the culture. It might be the color of your hair, the color of your eyes they don't like. Or maybe you smoke. They don't want you smoking. Maybe you use drugs. Because after the colors are all gone and the Indians are all gone, and the reason why I say that, you're like, oh, they don't want that. Well, go look at that number of millions of people that Donald Trump and Stephen Little Bitch Miller want to deport. and then go look at how many people there are in America. And what you'll notice is the only way you can deport that many people from America is if you deport everyone, whether they're here legally, whether they're born here or not, is if you deport everyone that's not white. Now, with that, I'm going to end that. This war in Iran is some bullshit. Don't be distracted. They're trying to hide the Epstein files. We got to get these people out of our country. When I say out the country, I mean out the country. We got to deport all these government officials who don't represent Americans. Personal opinion, we need to deport them back to ethnically where their countries they come from, because they not native to America. Have a blessed day. This is C2P News.
Of Class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the purge.